Good morning, everybody. I'm flying solo today, so it's only Neil here for the latest episode of Talking Balldocks. Um, Although today it will just be Talking Baldock because Matt is he's been at the EXP Christmas party, networking there, and then he's off to the RAN Relocation Agent Network conference today, again networking and a day of learning for him. Um, and I was on a training seminar yesterday with the team here. And so I wanted to talk today really about learning and training, but also about action and implementation and how without the action and implementation, everything else we do becomes a little bit insignificant, really. So yesterday I was on a training session hosted by or provided by Agent Rainmaker, and we had a great chap called Ali, who is their director of their Wolverhampton branch for concentric lettings, and it was all around lead conversion and converting. Let-only landlords into managed, and generally just making more sales within the business, both on the sales side and within the lettings business. Um, and even though me and Matt provide training to agents and coaching and consultancy, getting external training is also very important because sometimes if you're trying to train your team and they're constantly hearing your voice and it sounds a little bit like it's only your ideas, that is all well and good, and you need to provide internal training. But sometimes actually getting them to hear it from someone else is really, really powerful, and that's why we also use the services of external training companies with our own team. But what it really got me thinking was it was a great training session, but what does it actually mean if we do nothing about it? And so we're taking some action on it. One of the things discussed was running landlord webinars. Now, we've been running landlord seminars sporadically for many years. In fact, our first one was held in 2015. I think we did another one around 2018. But what we haven't done is been consistent with those landlord seminars. And then what we also haven't done is taken enough action in the follow-up surrounding those landlord seminars. And so it got me thinking, well, we've been on this training, the team have really enjoyed it. There's been some fantastic ideas come out of it. But actually, it would have been a total waste of investment from my point as the business owner, unless we take some action. And if you're going to take action, taking fast action is always best because you want it to have an impact while it's still fresh in everyone's brain. So we have immediately scheduled a landlord webinar for about a week and a half's time because we wanted to get one in before the Christmas break. Now, yes, it's a little bit of a rush, but we've got material because we've run seminars previously. And we're gonna, we know how to run these things. We've got the strategy behind it. We've had the training. We can pull on our previous experiences from the physical events, and we're going to run it. And so, but the point is, had we gone on that training and not then taken action as a business owner, my investment in training the team yesterday would have really been a waste. So, action and implementation is just as important as the learning. And I think that's just a really, really important point that I want to sort of hammer home on this podcast is that we can learn as much as we want and we can attend like Matt's today or yesterday he's been at the EXP conference and Christmas do, and then he's at the RAN conference today learning. Unless we take those learnings and do something about it and the action and implementation happens, then it's a complete waste of time. So yeah, what can you do within your business? Have you had some training recently? Have you had some consultancy and coaching or anything like that? Are you taking the action because you're investing money in training, coaching, consultancy, whatever it may be? Even if it's you as the business owner training your staff internally, you're investing your time, which is essentially money, in doing so. And then are your team members taking action from what they've been learning? Are you ensuring people are taking the action on those things that they've learned? I think the other thing really, the reason it's quite powerful bringing external training in sometimes is because it offers your team a different perspective. If the team is constantly hearing your voice and your ideas and your vision, that is all well and good. And you need obviously a clear vision, and you need to be the leader of your business. But sometimes they become a little bit numb to it, I guess. And bringing in a fresh voice who's reinforcing what you're saying or bringing different ideas, different perspective, I think that can be really powerful. And so we're going to do that a lot more in our own business as well. Um, I think I want to talk about the follow-ups. When you do valuations, again, doing a valuation, you put a lot of work in marketing spend, time out door knocking, canvassing, etc., to get that valuation. Unless you then follow that valuation up, everything else that came before it is probably a waste of time unless the customer signs up there and then. So, we wouldn't do viewings and not follow them up. We don't do valuations and not follow them up. And so when you're going and learning at seminars, conferences, training, coaching, consultancy, whatever it may be, once you've been in that learning environment, you need to take the action. You need to follow up that training. And whether that's yourself as the business owner, you've had some coaching and consultancy, have you taken the action required to implement those things? If it's your team you've invested and you've given them training, have you then followed up with your team to make sure they're following up on that training and they are taking the actions required to give you an investment on that training? Because ultimately, training, coaching, consultancy, whatever it may be, attending conferences, it is an investment. It's either a time investment, a money investment, and any investment should see a return. The reason we're investing in our people is to help them to grow and to help our businesses grow. So, yeah, we wouldn't be doing, our day-to-day lives revolve around taking action and following up the viewings and giving the feedback, following up the valuation and trying to win that business. When you have training, let's take the action and actually implement it. But it's important to do that quickly whilst the training is still fresh in your mind, whilst you are buzzing from it, whilst you're excited, once the team are excited. That's the time to make these implementations. Um, Matt and I are gonna we've mentioned it a couple of times before, but we're going to be running something called the Boardroom next year, which is a kind of a mastermind training and coaching program for agents who seriously want to grow their business, get more time back for themselves as a business owner, make more profit, and have less stress. Those are the kind of key principles of it. But even in that, it's not just going to be me and Matt giving the coaching and consultancy. We're going to be bringing in external people, external speakers, even external to our industry. Because again, it's a different perspective. And if everybody's going to the same training all the time, it's the same person saying the same things. There's nothing wrong with that in terms of the consistency of the message. And if training is correct, it's correct forever, really, unless something majorly changes within the industry. So there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we need to look outside of our industry as well and have external people come in who offer a different perspective and say, well, look, this works in this industry. Is that transferable over here? And frankly, running a business, it doesn't matter whether it's an estate agency, um, an accountancy practice, whatever the business may be, the framework is essentially the same as a business owner. We need marketing to drive leads. We need to understand the finances. We need to be able to convert those leads into customers. We need systems and processes to operate the business on a consistent basis, and so on and so on. And we've got a seven-step framework around that. But the point is, sometimes you need some external minds and external perspective just to show you that actually this does happen in other industries, and also we can pull information from other industries that we can then implement into our businesses in the estate and letting agency world. So, yeah, I think really I won't go on for sort of forever on this subject, but I just wanted to do a very quick podcast just to say, there is that famous phrase that the more you learn, the more you earn, which I fully believe in. But I think that only comes with action and implementation. And if you're going to go out and invest your money in learnings, you need to take action quickly and make those implementations as quickly as you can. So yeah, I hope that gives you a little bit of a fresh buzz and think, right, I have just been on a training course recently. I'm going to get my team to do this right now. Let's get this implemented. And just because we're coming up to Christmas is no excuse. Actually, now is a great time to be doing all this stuff in preparation of the new year. As I say, we had the discussion, should we just wait till the new year because it's going to be, are people going to be interested in landlord legislation, et cetera, just before Christmas? Well, we're just going to do it because number one, yes, I think they will because there's a lot happening in the rental market at the moment, which we can talk about. Um, but number two, even if nobody attends, it's a great training exercise for ourselves in running a webinar. We can record it, which then means we've got content that we can repurpose. So sometimes you've just got to do it. And we don't swear a lot on the podcast, but you just got to fucking do it. And that's like, JFDI. Sometimes you just have to get on and get things done. So hope that helps. We'll see you next week and have a good weekend.